Hello, everybody. We are the Basement Booker on a little bit new to the YouTube scene. Certainly not to TEW. Been playing this game for multiple years, and finally, I think I have enough knowledge of the game itself to be able to join in on the YouTube community with TEW. Now, what I've done here is brought back World Championship Wrestling in the year 2016. Now, things will be very different. As you can see from the very top, the name of the show is not Nitro or Thunder or even Saturday Night. It's called Ignition. Now, you can clearly see that it's on a Tuesday and our first show is on a Sunday. I did that on purpose because I wanted to have a beginning show as well as the regular show coming up on Tuesday. So, my whole thought process behind the company is I wanted to give guys different opportunities that they wouldn't have gotten in WWE or otherwise other companies that just have let them go. Or they've been on the indies for multiple years and they're finally getting their shot. So my thought process is going to be a mix of some guys you know, some guys you may know but not have heard of or seen given an opportunity. But I really want to try and do something that would be different from what you would see on TV per se. So without further ado, I'd like to get into the show. So here we go. The first WCW Ignition. So we start off with a pre-show match featuring two guys many people know, which is the Amazing Red, who was in TNA's Next Division champion, facing MVP here, where MVP got the victory in 9 minutes and 54 seconds with a playmaker. MVP got an average for his cocky gimmick, and the Amazing Red got a below average on his old school face, which that's okay, because I'm not planning on using Amazing Red more than a low mid-carder, most likely, but this is certainly a good sign. MVP got a performance of 55, Amazing Red got a performance of 25, not a huge fan of that, but working improvements, Amazing Red is improving in technical and performance, so that's very good news, and it got a rating of 44. So let's see what our next pre-show match got us. In a pre-show bout that had subpar wrestling and very little heat, Brian Kendrick defeated Wes Briscoe in 6:52 with sliced bread number 2. Okay. I actually brought in Wes Briscoe just as a one-time thing here. He's in an undisclosed elbow injury. That is unfortunate, but he is not on my roster, so I'm not worried. Brian Kendrick, degenerate, cocky, below average. Okay. And he got a 50 performance, and Wes Briscoe's performing in performance skills. So, Wes Briscoe, unfortunately, you got hurt, but thank you for doing the job to Brian Kendrick. That Brian Kendrick will not be a solo wrestler in this company, though, as you will see later on, potentially coming up. So, let's get to the main show. And Wes Briscoe sustained an undisclosed elbow. So, we open the show with the new owner of WCW, Mick Foley, and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very exciting night for me and for all of you. As you all know, I have been critical of the wrestling product over the past few years and was hoping to get a platform to fix it. Then I found WCW and realized I could bring it back and take on the big guns professional wrestling in some friendly competition. This is new WCW. It's for the real fans of professional wrestling and for the fans who left because they did not like the product. We welcome you back. Now, let's go to the matters at hand, shall we? I think it's safe to say we all need to get this started by crowning some champions. Starting tonight, we'll have an 8-man tournament to crown our first WCW champion. The names will be known as the matches happen. I don't like to spoil anything. So Mick Foley is the owner of the new WCW. He has a legend gimmick, very good, performed very well going off script, and a rating of 90. So that's how you get a crowd going. But Mick Foley also says, I also have a surprise for all of the WCW faithful. I would like to welcome back to WCW a former WCW champion and a former WCW US champion. He is the man with the most iconic streak in wrestling history, Goldberg. And Goldberg's music hits, and Goldberg grabs a microphone. So Goldberg's legend got it below average, but the crowd got even hotter and with a rating of 79. So we move on to the first matchup of the 8-person tournament, and we have Bobby Roode versus Roderick Strong. And about had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Bobby Roode defeated Roderick Strong in 9:46 with a payoff. Bobby Roode has the best in the world gimmick with an average, and Roderick Strong is a wrestling machine who got a great rating. Bobby Roode got a 61, and Roderick Strong got a 58. Love this. This is a great match that I wanted to do to open the tournament. I felt Bobby Roode was the guy to face Roderick Strong here because I feel like it's a match we have not seen. That I am aware of on national television, so I felt this would be a good opener to welcome people to the new WCW, and Roderick Strong is improving in his performance skills, so great. Alright, we have the Motor City Machine Guns backstage, and they say, tonight the first round of the WCW Tag Team Invitational begins, and the tag team division is not complete without the Motor City Machine Guns. We have won tag team titles in every company we have been in, whether it be TNA, Ring of Honor, or New Japan. Tonight we bring our request to add another tag team championship to our legacy. So, Alex Shelley is an old school face, above average. They improvised well, and Chris Sabin got an awful for his old school face, so that's not good. And no rating approval, and we got a 41. So, Motor City Machine Guns are in the tag team invitational, but I'm a little weary about how this segment went. So, in the first round of the Tag Team Invitational, the Motor City Machine Guns defeat La Resistance in 7:23 with subpar wrestling and very little heat. Let's see how we go here. Savan Grenier, Foreigner got an average. Rene Dupree got a Foreigner above average. Seemed off his game. That's unfortunate. Obviously, they have excellent chemistry. Sabin got a 43, Shelley a 58, and Renee and Sylvain got 26. So that's kind of what I expected from this match. The Motor City Machine Guns advance, and La Resistance do their part in the tag team division. Here we go. Backstage, Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes, or Runnels, if you want to go by their real names here, are backstage just hanging out. So you'll see Cody Rhodes tonight at some point, whether it be in the 8-person tournament or not. I will not spoil that. Cody Rhodes debuted his fan favorite, Cocky, but got below average. And Brandy got her old school manual, which was very good, so that's positive. And I got a 51. A video airs highlighting Stu Sanders, better known as Wade Barrett of WWE, and that he is coming to WCW tonight. So, that is one big name from WWE that we have brought in already in Stu Sanders. So here we go. We have Chris Hero, the man of Death by Elbow, versus Stu Sanders. And in about that decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling, Stu Sanders defeated Chris Hero in 12:59 by pinfall. Chris Hero got a poor rating on Old School Face. Stu Sanders got an average rating on being arrogant. They don't click, which is very unfortunate. But Chris Hero got a 38, and Stu Sanders with a 52. Got the crowd buzzing, though, so I don't know how that works, but that's how that got going. We got a rating of 50, which is slightly disappointing, and Stu Sanders improved in Rumble. A video airs of the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and that they are here in WCW. It gets a rating of a 33, which is very disappointing. But you know what? With the first show, I'm kind of giving everything kind of its own leeway because nothing is kind of building yet. So here we got an about that decent wrestling but little heat. The Young Bucks defeated the Mexicools, Super Crazy and Psychosis, in 8:07. Nick Jackson got a Show Stealer Cocky very good. Matt Jackson, Show Stealer Cocky below average. And Super Crazy as Luchador got below, and Psychosis as a Degenerate got below. Excellent chemistry from the Young Bucks. I wouldn't expect anything less. Matt and Nick Jackson 64 and 65 respectively, and Psychosis and Super Crazy 35 and 38 respectively. Very decent match from what I was expecting. The Young Bucks go over here on the Mexicools to build into this tag team invitational. The Mexicools are the veteran tag team that I brought in, who are kind of playing the same role as La Resistance. Here we have Mr. Anderson. WCW is the new land of opportunity, they say. Good, because some people don't want this a-hole around here anymore. However, here in WCW, I'm going to become the biggest a-hole possible to get what I want, and from now it is going to be the first WCW champion. When the dust settles, you'll hear from Green Bay, Wisconsin, your first WCW champion, Mr. Anderson. And he has debuted his old school heel cocky gimmick, which I was kind of going with that, but I'm a little disappointed because it was rated as poor. But without a script, he killed it with a 69 rating, which is always good. A video airs of Rob Van Dam, so another big name in wrestling is here in WCW. And in a match that unfortunately got a low rating here, RVD defeats Mr. Anderson in 12:25 with a 5-star frolic splash. Show stealer for RVD got an average. Mr. Anderson got a 45 and RVD got a 49. So these two gentlemen are also in that 8-man tournament, along with Stu Sanders, Chris Hero, and Bobby Roode and Roderick Strong. The other two members of that are in the main event tonight, so I do not want to spoil that. The video airs showing Aaron Stevens. You may also know him as Damian Sandow, a other big name from WWE that has come now to WCW. And here we have MVP storming into Mick Foley's office. Foley, how is this the MVP of professional wrestling? Montel Vontavious Porter is not in the WCW title tournament. I have won championships all around the world, but that is not good enough for you. MVP, you made some good points, but I felt the other 8 were the direction WCW was going, so those are who I chose. No hard feelings towards you whatsoever. Foley, there was no hard feelings, but there will be. So MVP has been left out of the tournament and is clearly not happy about it. Performance was both very well done and work improvements none, but a rating of 73, so I will take that. So in your main event, the 8-person storyline, the 8-person tournament, of the storyline, in a decent match, Cody Rhodes defeats Aaron Stevens in 14:53 by pinfall with Crossroads, also known as the Silver Spoon DDT. Got a rating of 56. Aaron Stevens debuted as arrogant and above average. Cody Rhodes got a 56. Aaron Stevens got a 53. So those are the 8 guys. So it was Cody Rhodes and Aaron Stevens, Rude and Strong, Sanders and Hero, and RVD and Anderson. Stu Sanders attacks Cody Rhodes after the match, as they will be facing off next week in the semifinals of the 8-person tournament. But then RVD comes in and attacks Stu Sanders, kicks him in the face, hits him with the 5-star, looks to be on top. But Bobby Roode comes in and lays out RVD, standing tall among the other 3 members of the Final 4 in the WCW tournament, and celebrating, going way too far, being an ultimate heel that Bobby Roode is, and is ready for next week as he takes on Rob Van Dam in the semis, but also creates a opportunity for him to stand tall over Stu Sanders and Cody Rhodes. And that got a 68, and that is the end of the show. We got a rating of 60, which, you know what, I'll take considering it's the first show. The feeling is that WWE does not have enough interesting storylines going on, which that's okay. First show, there's no way I would have storylines going anyway. So I'm going to wrap it up here for the first episode of WCW Tuesday Night Ignition. I will be back with the second episode of Tuesday Night Ignition with some other new guys and faces that you might remember from wrestling, as well as the semifinals of your 8-man tournament to crown the first WCW champion.